What's up? What's up? It's not just black and white. And I'm your girl, Whitley.
And I'm Rain.
And we are coming to you from our podcast. It's not just black and white. And just basically to talk about culture, world events, things that are going on in this world, to open up conversations for your family, for your friends, and kind of get the conversation started. So our first topic we're talking about today, it'll be relationships. And so, Rain, tell me what is one of your biggest challenges within your relationship?
Um, oh boy. I think one of my biggest challenges in my current relationship is probably communication. We are having to constantly talk about how to even communicate because when you are with somebody new, it's just learning how we communicate the ebbs and flows of it. Especially over text, I tend to be I lack in emojis, and I think that that can translate as when I'm joking, it's so serious that
Mhm.
the lines get skewed.
Mhm. Okay. So what would you say would be one of your triggers?
Um okay, so triggers in more so past relationships was control and manipulation. I was in a relationship when I was about 17 with a guy who was like 7 years older than me. I think it was like 17, 18, and he was a lot older than me. And I think um, with a man who's so much older than a lady, I think that really, um, I think the man puts you in a place where he almost tries to have control and manipulate you because I was so young and naive. I didn't know myself. I wasn't very independent, but I was living with family friends. I think I just didn't know how to stick up for myself and didn't know how to communicate my needs. And I just kind of let myself get walked over. So, anytime currently, when there's even a slight trigger, not that my current relationship, he doesn't do any of this, but when there's even a slight trigger, it sets me off and just puts me in a bad mental space. And I've even had to go to therapy for this and just kind of figure out how do I want to be treated? What do I want in a relationship? What do I want for myself? And how am I going to basically communicate that to a man and how my expectations are for him? Um,
Mhm. So
so,
do you
what do
feel
you think
like
your challenges are?
oh, Oh, wait, I had one more question for you since you were saying that. So do you feel like you have grown like you've grown from your last relationship knowing this information and what triggers you and what you will and will not accept? Do you carry that you don't carry that to your next relationship thinking like, "Oh, he's going to be A, B, C and then D." You kind of like that was him, but this is my new guy and this is that kind of how it goes or what?
So actually, after that relationship, I was in another relationship later on when I was about 21, and it lasted for about 2 years. And in that relationship, um, I saw a lot of myself just not fully healed from the past relationship. And I think the biggest mistake you can make is getting into a relationship when you're not ready for it, and everything that comes with it. So there was a lot of um, times we sat down and we talked about it, and he was always encouraging me, you should go to therapy, you should seek some help and just figure out what you need. So he was very encouraging and very he helped me open up more and be more independent, so that was something that really helped me grow. But in therapy, that I think helped me grow the most because I was able to work on myself with just myself. I mean, that was just me and God, and then there was another human there listening to me, telling me all the kind of the rights and wrongs and the correct way to present things. So
Right.
Yeah, I would say I've grown a lot since then, but I
That's
am
good.
still of the belief that there's no such thing as perfect, so you can keep working on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm curious because you have been married for 10 years plus. So tell me, what is your current challenge in your relationship and what are some triggers from your past?
Oh, okay. So yes, I've had some challenges along the way. I mean, me and Fred were together since we were kids. I mean, I was 16 years old. So half of my life has been with this one person. So to say that we haven't, it's different, like if you're in your 20s, you're learning yourself, or in your 30s, you're learning yourself, and then you meet a mate, but you've already grown. Well, me and Fred, we actually had to grow together. So a lot of the things, we've had great times, we've had bad times, but we've had to learn together. And so I think that's a big challenge of itself. We weren't coming in as adults, we came in as kids. So it's like we're now evolving, changing, different things like that. So um it's a blessing and it's also a curse at the same time, because you and this person have to grow together, and grow, individually as well, and set those expectations. But our biggest challenge, one of our biggest challenges, is setting boundaries. We were young kids, broke, we struggled together and everything, so we shared every aspect of anything and everything we shared together. And so now that as we're adults, we're navigating finances and different things and different accounts, and being held responsible individually for different things. It's like, we're not just kids blowing through money, or putting our money together as far as because that's all the money we got or whatever. We have to be responsible adults. And so I think that has probably been a big challenge for us. But like I said, we've grown so much together, and growing from a kid, from a child to now an adult. So it's definitely had its challenges, but every relationship definitely takes work, time. It's not, just black and white. It's not always pretty flowers and roses. You have to put in that work. And especially when two parties respect each other, love each other, it'll come, it'll work itself out. So that, I think that was a great question. So which brings us to our next question, about mental health. And you brought up therapy. So tell us, like, how important is mental health, and how important is therapy, and what are some of the stigmas that you feel that surround therapy?
So say it's not real. Okay, so I think that's a joke. Obviously, you've never been through nothing that's affected your mental health, which I'm a little shocked. Um, the stigmas around it, I'll say, like, the world
Right.
has a look on men, for
Hmm.
example, and men who go to therapy. You're supposed to be seen as this macho man, and you're not supposed to show weakness, any emotion. But I think that's actually what makes a man strong, is a man who can communicate his emotions and who can show strength by um, talking about his feelings and being able to cope with them correctly. I think the other thing with women around the stigma of mental health and going
Hmm.
to therapy is they're already seen as emotional. So it's kind of like, why can't you control your emotions? Like, why can't you just, keep them to yourself? Like, and sometimes women are more so expected to be in therapy. So unfortunately, it's just kind of the way the world looks at people. But I will say, I do think we are turning into a new culture, and mental health is talked about more. The stigmas are not really the way they used to be. Um,
Hmm.
and um, so yeah, I do think it's important.
Right. Hmm. Good. And I think that, and just to add to what you're saying, there's a lot of stigmas, especially I will say for my community, the Black community. There once before was a stigma of mental health, and you'd be like, oh, cousin Ezel, he's just crazy. Oh, he's all right. He just don't worry about him. No, cousin Ezel really needs some help. He needs to go to therapy. He needs to get on some medications or something to help him with his schizophrenia or something to help him with
Yeah.
his bipolar. Don't just be dismissive of the situation. You have to seek help if that's what you need. Just like if you're for physical health, just like if you go to the hospital to see a doctor because you're injured, go to
Mhm.
therapy to seek help because you had pasthood trauma or different things that happened to you. So which I'm so glad that, like you said, it's turning around. People are talking about it more, and seeking out help. And just because you need mental health as well, honey. And so it's very important, that
I
people
have
seek
to
therapy
ask, do
if
you
they
have a
need it.
cousin
You know.
Ezel?
So yeah,
I'm like, where'd you pull that?
girl, I no, no. Look, y'all go watch Friday. No, I do not have a cousin Ezel. No, I just always say that. No, I don't have a cousin Ezel.
Okay,
Don't
so
play.
I'm
No,
actually
ma'am.
curious.
I'm just
You got
saying. I'm
kiddos, I
saying, stop
don't, so I can only speak my opinion. Do you feel like therapy is safe
it.
for children, and do you think it's okay for them to go to therapy? And
Mhm.
do you think kids struggle with mental health?
Oh, for sure. Oh my gosh, yes. And this is such a touchy subject for me, only because, like, at growing up, seeing so many things that I have seen and witnessed. And there was like a stigma. Kids are only to be seen and not heard. But kids. Kids have emotions too. Kids go through different traumas as well, and I think, if you know that about a child, that yes, they should. Therapy is important for them because, God forbid, that helps stop a behavior at school. If a child is acting up at school, well, why is that child acting up? Is he receiving that love, nurture relationship, that open communication? Is he being shown love at his home? You don't know what children are going through, with their home life. And so, I think therapy is important. I think speaking and actually letting your children have a voice to have something to say. Now, I always tell my kids, you can speak and say how you feel, what you feel, respectfully now. To any myself or an adult, respectfully, you can ask questions and different things, do it in a respectful way, but also you have a voice. And I don't ever want to shut my kids down from using their voice, because their voice matters. When they ask questions or when they wonder stuff, or when they see different things, don't shut them down. Let them be able to speak, because sometimes too, kids can be a learning journey, a learning curve for you as the parent. Your child may say something to you that's like, wow, I didn't think of it this way, or wow, or he's really watching me, or he's really paying attention to his surroundings. And I think people should start opening up those conversations. And I'll get it. I won't get too in depth in it, but there was a situation that
Hmm.
happened, with the kids. With when the whole George Floyd thing happened, and my kids seen it, they heard it, and they're like asking questions, and I'm having to have those conversations with them. I mean, I'm not gonna say, because God forbid, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna have these conversations with them and let the world teach them. And let the world teach them the wrong way about different things. I'm going to educate them. I'm going to tell them, what's going on and how you should protect yourself and how you should love your neighbor, and, different things like that. Different things like that. So I think it's very important and very imperative that
So, do
you
you
check
feel
on your
like it's
kids' mental health
appropriate
and mental space,
for,
because you
do
never
you
know
think
what they
they
could
need
be
to
feeling
ask
or
to go to
going through.
therapy, or do you feel like you should just put them in it, or how does that look?
I would honestly say, like, recognize signs, like, say if and ask questions, like, say if you had a death in the family or something, or your family, your mom and dad just got a divorce, or different things, anything that go, ask them, how did that make you feel, and just see, are they shutting down, or how are their grades at school, are they not doing the activities that they normally would do. Check on your kids, and make sure you know what's going on with them, and then if they need it, seek out that assistance, because sometimes you can't do it on your own, and that's okay. But I speak in this because I'm so passionate about children getting what they need, and being heard, because, like I said, a lot of the times I had, as a child, seen so much stuff and heard so much stuff, but didn't have anybody to talk to, and I just kind of had to build this strong wall, and be strong at this young age, and I shouldn't have to do that. Children shouldn't have to experience that. They should just be a
Mm.
kid.
I can tell you're
So,
passionate
oh,
about
that's a
it.
great question, girl. Oh, that hit me.
I said I can tell you're passionate about
Well, it's not just black and white. Huh? You said what? Oh, yes, I am, girl. Okay, well, it's not just black and white, crew. Let us know what you guys think. How do you feel about the topics that we discussed today? Like, comment, talk with your families, talk to
it.
your friends, and let us know what you think. All right, it's not just black and white. Have a good day.